Hey, good evening. How is everyone doing? I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. I am your host, Dedric Hubbard, and today we're going to finish uh, talking about the purpose of positioning. The purpose of positioning, and we're going to be in Luke chapter 20 today, talking about this positioning. And for many of us, God has us right where He wants us. You know, a lot of things we're going through that we can't explain why we're going through it, or we don't have a knowledge, but we got to understand something. Our faith still has to be in God. And even in my own life, if I face the trial and tribulations that I am enduring in this time, it's only by the grace of God and my faith in God that keeps me somewhat on a level playing field. So a lot of us, we got to a point. I think God is really allowing us to deal with us. Because just noticing the things that I'm going through, uh, and talking with some of the people, a lot of us are going through things that are really shaking our faith. It's shaking our very core. It's shaking our hearts. It's shaking our mind. It's shaking our total acceptance of life. And for many of us, we've come to a point that some of the things we've done, we said, or the action we've took, we understand we shouldn't have done. We shouldn't have done some of those things. But nevertheless, God is a forgiving God. And I want many of you to understand as we talk on teach this lesson in a minute or two is that never give up on God. Even when you give up on yourself. Never give up on God. Because God can always change things the way He see fit. The problem is that sometimes the persons that we dealing with, because they're so subdued into the ways of the world or into the ways of misinformation that they hold on to what they think will make them feel good or what they think they need to do. Luke chapter 20, verse 1 says, "And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes came upon him with the elders and spake unto him, saying, Tell us by what authority dost thou do these things? Or who is it he that give thee this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will ask, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? So what we got to understand when we talking about positioning, in verse 1, it talks about Christ preaching in the temple. You got to understand, if you really read your Bible, especially the New Testament, you didn't see Christ in the temple often. When he went in the temple, it actually was to either expose or go against the religious mindset. Some of us are connected to people who have a religious mindset. Some of us are connected to people who think the rules don't apply to them. Some of us connected to people that think that what they're doing is right. But watch this. He said while he was preaching this gospel, you had the chief priests, you had the scribes, and the elders. So you had people who knew what they're talking about. You had people who had an understanding of what they were talking about. And you had people who were groomed in what Jesus was talking about. Why did I say it that way? Because many of you are listening to people who have a knowledge of who God is, but no relationship to what he can do. So we fail in position ourselves to really do the will of God because we have left the will of God for our will. See, that's why it goes too. They say, who authority you do this under? Who told you can do this? Or who gave you authority? Who told Brother Hubbard who can preach? Who gave Brother Hubbard authority? Who told Brother Hubbard he can mentor? Who told him that he can see in the spirit? Who told him he can hear in the spirit? Who told him he got this power? Where's that coming from? A lot of you are more capable than what you give yourself credit for. What they actually was doing in verse 2, they were trying, watch this, they were trying to belittle who he is. They were trying to offset his confidence. See, many of you who I mentor or who I say something, or when I say something to you, you notice, you got to notice, and the reason I'm teaching, telling some of you this, you got to notice who I am now. I'm not going to be around much longer. I'm just going to tell you. I say what I say sometimes to try to knock your confidence. If I can knock your confidence, then I can knock your power. See, they had to understand who authority they gave it to you, because see, a lot of people think they can buy what you got. See, a lot of people run to me and think you can do stuff that you heard other people do because they connected to me. A lot of people jealous because they can't do what they see me do. See, that's why I get in they when they call me prideful and this and that. Because see, how am I prideful when all I'm trying to, when if you listen to the majority of what I teach for over 26 years, all I'm teaching you is to be confident in God, to hear God's voice. I don't tell you to follow me. I don't tell you to do this. I tell you to do that. I said be confident in God. Because see, when I ain't around, you ain't going to have me. So you got to be confident that what you've been instructed as the Lord tells me, you have your own relationship. Therefore, you can go to God. See, I'm not trying to be like the Catholic. You ain't got to come in the little booth and do your Hail Mary and Father, I have sinned. So here Jesus, watch this. He outsmarts them once again. See, you got to know how to trap people with their own question. He said, let me ask you something then. What the baptisms of John, was it from heaven or from me? See, a lot of people don't understand who you are, so they try to put you in a place that they can identify with you. They got to identify with you. Hold on. The reason people hate me and they're going to hate you is because they can't identify with you. See, you got to look, just look at how I live my life. Do you hear me name calling anybody? I taught y'all yesterday, yeah, I know some famous people. Someone call me and text me now. I know people who got status, but do you hear me calling their name? I ain't a part of no organization unless it's a heaven organization. See, people who have their status in the world, they'll never they'll never comprehend people whose status is in the spirit. Huh? So whatever you give me naturally, I can always tell you what it means in the spirit. Because what does the Bible tell you? He said, keep your head on things above, not beneath. So everything that you do naturally has a spiritual condemnation to it. You know, a lot of ladies get at me because of that five love language book. A carnal mind can't comprehend the things of the spirit. That's in the word. But what they fail to see, I didn't know that unless God told me. So if God told me that book ain't no good, and he told me what's the spiritual principles behind what they believe natural, guess what? I believe God. I don't give a damn about what these women think when I talk about them five. I know what God said, and that's the confidence I put on you. When God tell me something, I don't care. Even my own wife attacked me about, well, it didn't attack me. She got her own opinion. I ain't moved. I know what he told me. See, the only book you need to read when it talk about love is that it's in this Bible. See, the Bible said love is long suffering. So watch this. If I don't give you word of acclamation, if I don't give you gifts, if I don't tell you you beautiful, long suffering means I'm able to live without what I can't get. Yeah, yeah. It's over in 2 Corinthians. Huh? It said, love seeketh not his own. You ain't got to listen to nothing if I say, let's break that down. Love seeketh not its own. That book telling you what to seek. The five languages of I need affirmation. Let me go over here to the Bible that's been around for decades. Say love seeking not his own, but you said in order for me to show you that I love you, you need acclamation. In order for me to show you I love you, you need gifts. In order for you to show that I love you, you need to be touched. Love seeking not his own, according to the Bible. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going with the Bible. The Bible been around for generations. It ain't been around for the past 15, 20 years. Huh? Far as I'm concerned, just send the book to me, and I'm gonna get it wet. And when I need to take a number two, I'm gonna use the pages to wipe my butt with. How about that? How about that? That's what I'm gonna do with it. Women, even if a man does not have a relationship with God, do you know women have a smell? You got a smell. I can tell when a woman got low self-esteem. I can tell when I can sleep with a woman the first night. I can tell when I got to wait to sleep with a woman. You got a smell that you don't even see. And men so dumb, they don't even know they got the nose to see. Now some of us do because I know. I can look at a woman and I say, well, it's gonna take me a while to get that down. So watch this. That's why that stuff Steve Harvey talking about 90 days. We can wait 90 days because we probably over here screwing 5 or 6 chicks. And when them 90 days up and I done did what I need to do, then after them 90 days, guess what we do? We put you in rotation. We put you in rotation. Know your position as a woman. Hopping from man to man. Men hopping from women to women. You know what that means? Ooh, that's good, Brother Hubbard. We're going to get back on track. This fell in my spirit. Do you know what that means? When we move on quicker than what we left behind, what we're saying, I can't find the hurt that I need to heal from. That's what we're saying. See, when you got an apostolic anointing, and some of you have it, why do you think you can look at something and know it's out of order? Why do you think you can look at a person and if you coming into it, you'll say something ain't quite right about them? But see, you got to have the Holy Spirit to know what ain't quite right. See, how can you leave something that you took a lifetime to build and the first woman that cock her leg open, you in between now? The first man that show you what you didn't get, you got him up there. You can't identify your hurt. What I said on social media, I said, don't let the healed version of you respond to the hurt version of them. I ain't got time to get even. All I got time is get God. So he asked him the question, was it from heaven or of men? What you doing, is it really for God or it is for yourself? See, when you're around things, and it's always I, then that's you. That ain't God. See, I had to see that by myself. Now, I ain't stingy all the time, but certain areas I'm stingy in. Yeah. And what you going through, are you going through what you're going through is because God letting you go through it? Or because it's something in your life making you go through it? See, a lot of y'all dealing with things that's not of God, but you giving God the name of it. Verse 5, and they reason within themselves, saying, if we shall say from heaven, he will say, why then believe ye him not? But, and if we say of men, all the people will stone. John was a prophet. And they answered that they could not tell whence it was. And Jesus said unto them, neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. See, y'all do understand how I teach people. I give you the same thing back that you give me. Because I want you to believe what you believe to see if what you believe leads to God. And a lot of the things we do, it's not leading back to God. Case in point. When y'all going through, especially people with money, when y'all going through, God, can I buy this? God, can I buy this? God, can I buy this? God, can I buy? But the minute God give money back, you don't ask God, can I buy this no more? You automatically assume God won't, God okay with it. You lean to your own understanding. I don't I don't teach because I want to teach. I'm not teaching this because I want to teach this. I said, God, what you want to teach? What I tell y'all? Ain't no books around here. Though I can do it. I ain't got no notes. Phew, phew, phew. Coming straight from God. See, watch this. That's why a lot of people get offended by the things I say because you don't want to change your way. It ain't me offending you, it's the Holy Spirit offending you. But if you watch this, if you don't know what I'm saying come from God, how you know God? That's why they reason itself. If we say it's from heaven, they say, why didn't believe him not? Because watch this. A lot of people would know that you call, but they don't believe in your call. People will watch you heal, deliver, and give wisdom to somebody else, but they ain't gonna take it from you. Ask me how many people ask me, do I go see their videos, but you never see them coming in on mine. Not that it mean anything, because I learned a long time ago. This a lonely job. This a despicable job. This the kind of job to get you blackballed. But you know what the strange thing about it? I enjoy being blackballed. You know why I enjoy being blackballed? Let's look at my track record. Half the thing I say, people think is foolish till they hear it on TV, or till they see it, or they see God bring it to pass. So if I got a track record of hearing God, why all of a sudden you offended by what I say when it applies to you? I ain't say you going to heaven or hell serving them Greek aka gods. Them big old extra flirty eyelashes. That dog hair. Some of y'all will be, some of y'all be all right. But y'all go in there and buy the $20 hair. That dog hair be looking like a dog. We used to use the wooden brooms we used to use the wooden brooms. That's what some of y'all have look and feel like. Yeah, that's what it look and feel like. But see, I ain't worried about y'all mad because I'm talking about your hair, your makeup. When them Nephilim comes, when them Anaki comes, and I told y'all that they the ones that found the daughters of men attractive, and they the ones that showed them how to make more attractive. When they come down here and your daughters go to missing, you go to missing. Please, I hope God say, Brother Hub tried to warn you, but you was offended. You was offended. Midnight train to Georgia. So watch this. You got to realize when you position in a place of power like Christ was, I ain't got to tell you nothing. See, you wanna answer so you can try to trip me up, or you want an answer to satisfy your need. I ain't got to say nothing. That's what Jesus said. See, if you got a relationship with God that you say you got, then God should tell you what I say is from him. But because you friendship with the world and it's an enmity between God, you can't hear God with a spiritual mind standing on carnal principles. Verse 9 says, see, watch what Christ did. After he told him that I ain't going to tell you who authority is, he immediately went into a parable. Verse 9 says, then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and led it forth to husbandmen and went into a far country for a long time. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen that they should give. But the husbandmen beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also and entreated him shamefully and sent him away empty. And again the third, and they wounded him and cast him out. See, what Jesus was trying to illustrate, I keep warning and warning, and people like me warning you. When you hear the same thing 2 or 3 times, it's time to change. But see, because y'all like the fruit of the world and not the fruit of God, you're going to be a ski weed till you die. You're going to stroll with no panties on till you die. See, because this word, it dictates you got to have some panties on. Huh? This word dictates there is no other God before me. Don't y'all got to play in some Greek God? Ain't no other God before me. I was listening to one of them, welcome to Delta land. How Delta got a land when the Bible say the earth is God and the fullness thereof? You got a Greek God that got their own land on earth. You're going to hell. Well, I just said that. I don't know if you're going to hell or not. Delta land, aka want to be like us, the Kappa want to see us, the crews want to screw, some kind of mess. That's called chanting, people. That's what they're called. That's called chanting. That's called witchcraft. That's what they're called. And watch these. They got more allegiance to the colors than they do got to Christ. See, watch this. They'll break all the rules for Christ, boy, but they ain't gonna break them rules for them Qs. They ain't gonna break them rules for them AKAs. Huh? So that let God know that the Greeks more important than him. I'm just throwing it out there. Well, we'll leave you Greeks alone. Maybe you're an Eastern Star. Same thing. You witch. Yeah, you're a witch. So God keeps sending people and messages to get some of you to change, but you stuck in your position in the world. You got to have an identity what people what people think you somebody. All the things I've accomplished, I know it's God. Cause I know I'm a nobody. I ain't got nothing going for me. No family no more. No place to stay. All I got is clothes and a car. And some good gospel. I got to wash my hair. I got some good curls now. But watch this. You got to understand that a lot of times God allows us to go through things not because we want to harm us, but he got to make sure that we understand us. Because in this world to come, you ain't gonna understand why people gonna do some of the things you do. You ain't gonna understand why they cut your arm off and beat you with it. You ain't gonna understand why they molest you and your son. They don't care if you're a man or a woman. All they gonna do is stick peanuts in you. Might pee on you. Verse 13, then said the Lord of the vineyard, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It be they will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to other. And when they heard it, they said, God forbid. See, because y'all don't want to hear what I got to say, he finna send by. You thought I was rough. Guess who about to come? It's somebody rougher than me coming. Christ coming. Christ coming to check fruit. But see, you got to move in the power of Christ to know Christ. And what's going to happen when you show them that you got the power of Christ, they ain't going to believe it, because guess what? They ain't got it. That's what all this about. It ain't about good and bad. I mean, good and evil, right and wrong. It's about somebody got something that somebody else ain't got. So I'm a steal or take what they got. Want me to prove it to you? That's what this all about. Let's go ahead in the book of Genesis. What it is? Is that 3 over there that we talking about sometime? Watch this. Let me see. Can I find? Yeah. Let me see. Here you go. Watch this. When the watch this. When the woman saw the tree was good for food, what did the woman do when she seen it was good? She knew. See, people keep saying, and I've been hearing people teach, that Adam didn't tell Eve what not to do. But if you go on to verse 10, he said he gave them authority, which means she knew the same thing Adam knew. But for some reason, she was alone. She might not have been alone. Adam might have been right there. I don't know. Maybe when we die, he'll tell us this. I'm just letting you know from what I said. But watch this. She saw and she took. Cain and Abel. Cain saw and he took. See, this whole Bible, in a nutshell, is the devil see what God got. He want it because he don't have it, so he take it any way it can. See, a lot of y'all, you didn't lose your marriage because they didn't treat you like you wanted to be treated. The devil saw the weakness and exploited it. That's all he did to Eve. Maybe Adam didn't tell her, come on to work with me, baby. Maybe Adam didn't sit on his lap. Maybe Adam didn't pop the butter enough. Maybe he didn't catch her in there cooking and, bent her over the sink and gave her a little stiff rod. I don't know. I'm just saying. Do what y'all want to do. Huh? Maybe he ain't catch her in the shower. But for whatever reason, she felt insecure. That's what it's about. See, it said the serpent was more subtle. Subtle means it started out small. And he asked her a question. And she answered the question. See, I was dealing with a marriage situation the other day, and I had to say some things I didn't want to say. It wasn't that hard. It's just revealing things I don't reveal. Just because mine ain't didn't work out, what y'all got to understand, never say nothing out of anger. Never say nothing when you angry. That's all Satan looking for, is some subtle way to get in your spirit. You know, I said a few things when I was, everybody marriage ain't gonna be perfect. But it's a shame that people often will tell you that what you said to them may hurt them more than what they think you said to you. That's why I used to teach y'all, don't say that when you hurt, because you can never make a person feel the hurt at the level that you feel it on. Those emotions. See, the problem is in verse 5. He telling her they shall be as God. The problem is they didn't even know that they was already like God. That's what's wrong with some of y'all. And the only reason that you don't know you like God is because you don't have a leader to bring the God out of you. But do what you want. Ain't my job to beg you. Ain't my job to pry from you. Ain't my job to prove it to you. All I got to say, a lot of the decisions that we have made in the past 2 years, for many of us, we made the wrong decision, and you be able to see it in a little while.